I have made over six figures trading at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time every single day. And in today's video, I'm going over how I got $750,000 of allocation from TopStep, which is their max allocation in 1 week. We are going over those trades and exactly how you can also use 9:30 so that you can finally become profitable. In this video today, I'll be showing you how you can spend less time and make way more money. So let's go over these trades. What you'll see here is NASDAQ, right? And all of these trades that I used to pass the TopStep accounts, I took at 9:30 a.m. They either came after 9:30 a.m., never before, right? So the first trade, and we'll get into this second one, the first trade is over here. If I don't do that, first trade is over here, 9:30 a.m., right? So what are we looking for? 9:30 can do one of two things. It will either manipulate or it will distribute. This is what we first must understand. 9:30 is said to do two things: manipulate or distribute. What does that mean? Well, if you have a bias in mind, for example, on this day here, I wanted to see price go higher. Why is that? Well, this is a market maker buyer model. You've got an original consolidation here, distribution levels, smart money reversal, low risk, accumulation, reaccumulation, right? So I'm always asking myself, okay, where's the obvious liquidity? The obvious liquidity on this chart is obviously this consolidation here, because in order for me to short this market, for example, would I be comfortable shorting here when these highs are still intact? No. So obviously this is the most clear draw on liquidity. These equal highs, right? So if we look there, for me, that's the draw on liquidity. I'm always looking for some form of equal highs. Now, when we consolidate here, I'm always thinking, if we consolidate, it's what? Accumulation. So 9:30, if we don't manipulate before it, will perform what function? Manipulation. And that is exactly what we get, because we get accumulation. Then I'll mark up 9:30 exactly there. Manipulation, opposing to our bias, because remember, we're looking for these highs to get traded to. So then how did I engage with this market? Well, let's drop to the 1 minute time frame, because once I've seen the manipulation happen at 9:30, now I'm looking for a specific set of things to get on side with that market. And these are the exact trades I took to get max allocation with TopStep. Now, I got in about here, okay? So let's zoom into this price action and I'll go over exactly what I was looking at. You know, we have our accumulation over here. Midnight New York is down there. So it's not likely, and listen carefully, I use Midnight New York and 8:30 as opening prices. I'm looking for this as an indicator without an indicator. An indication of whether we're overbought or oversold relative to that opening price. Now, if midnight is miles away and we're bullish, it's not going to go all the way back down to midnight. It doesn't make sense. So what do? We use 8:30 a.m. and this video is filled with gems. So listen carefully. 8:30 a.m. is around here, right? So obviously at this point, when we're down here at 9:30, we are oversold, especially if the drawn liquidity is higher. Now look, how did I exactly engage? How did I know when to get in? And this was a choppy market, but how did I know exactly when to get in so it didn't matter? Take a look, right? This is one drive lower. This is a second drive lower. This is what? A third drive lower. When I see three drives lower without distribution higher, without displacement is the right word, without displacement higher, I'm now looking, I don't want to see a fourth drive. And that is exactly what we didn't get. We got 1, 2, 3. Now, I don't want to see a fourth drive if we are to go higher. I want us to reverse from this point. This is my thinking. This is the exact thinking in real time before it happened. I outlined to my one-to-one students. They will vouch for this. Now, when I saw this happen at 9:49, 1, 2, 3 candles, we closed above what? Not only the down close candles here, but this volume imbalance. That is key for me, because that is the indication that we are ready to go higher now, especially considering the fact we've had 3 drives now. So when we close above that level there, I am now in long. When we reach back down on the 9:52 candle, I took a long about here on the revisit of that. My stop loss went below there and I aimed for the equal highs, which was a nice 1 to 2.27. That is very simple mechanical trading, and it's the reason why I say you only need 9:30, because it performs certain functions, and this is New York time. Now I'm in London. I'm based in the UK. This is New York based time though. Okay, I trade on the New York time. You can use this time and only be at the charts for an hour a day. I seriously mean that. It's what I teach privately. Okay? You can use this, and there's certain ways you can get on side with it. One being the 10 a.m. 4-hour candle. Because if 9:30 manipulates, 10 a.m. will perform another function, which is what? Well, we've had accumulation before 9:30. We've had manipulation at 9:30. So 10 a.m. is likely to do what? Right? And we get on side with that. Now, let's go to the other example. Okay, NFP Friday. What was I looking at here? Well, we had accumulation before NFP, obviously. I was a bit wary to engage with NFP, but when I saw it, I said it was worth half risk. I've told you guys on these futures accounts, I'm much more aggressive because I want to pass them quickly. I don't want to be paying a monthly fee over and over again. It's ridiculous. There's no need for that. Take a challenge you're comfortable with losing. For me, that was 5 times 150Ks. For you, that might be 350Ks, right? Everything's relative. But just make sure you're comfortable with losing it. So what did we do before 8:30? And what made me determine it was worth the risk? I went half risk on this, but the risk to reward was massive, which is why I took the trade. I'll get into that. Now, midnight New York is there, right? So we're accumulating here. And this is classic what? This is classic what you'll see, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? This is classic NFP. If NFP performs certain functions, it can distribute the other side and just aim for the NFP lows. So 8:30 hit, which is NFP. It took out the sell side liquidity first, then ran up and took out the buy side liquidity. Now ES, if we look at its correlating asset, ES took this all-time high, right? So Thursday, 28th of August, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see here, okay, that did take it, but these highs it didn't take. That's the one I was looking for. So ES, obviously, these highs is at all-time highs at this point. NQ is not, right? You can see that clearly. That's the SMT I was looking at. Now, how did I involve myself with this market and when? Well, if you look at a 5-minute time frame, you'll see we had an SMT on the lower time frame there. Where is the NFP low? So I'm thinking, as we go into this, and this is a scalp. This isn't based off a daily candles expansion. This is simply a scalp for me. So I'm only trying to predict the next few candles because that's all I need to pass these accounts. Now, we have NFP lows down here. So I was thinking this could be a very nice target because there's a lot of stop losses there. It's always, where are the stop losses? Where's the liquidity for us to target? Down there is a lot of liquidity. We get an SMT, and then look at this. We created this for value gap here. And a lot of my students shorted this as well. I remember them saying in real time. I was actually in a car ride home trying to get back to look to short this. Luckily, I got back in time. Now, we created a 5-minute gap here. I like that because whenever we create a gap, it tells me the algorithm's at least displacing in my direction. So I may be on side with the market. It's almost like a extra compliments, right? So we created a gap. Good. SMT as well. Good. Now what am I waiting for? Well, I dropped to the 1 minute because, again, these are scalping accounts for me. I want to be on these lower time frames trying to catch expansions, okay? I caught this expansion down, and it's in my journal. I'm going to try and pull up the execution screenshots in the edit. We'll see how that goes. But basically, where I got in was this fair value gap here, and I'll explain why I got in here. Well, first of all, we had the SMT, right? We had the SMT at those highs. I like that. I want to see that. We're obviously in a premium from low to high. This is obviously a premium market because you take this there, right? Premium market. And we're doing what here? What is this? This is a consolidation. So this becomes a what? Balanced price range. I do not want to see price rally from here because we are consolidating and it's a balanced price range. Now, all of this is rebalance, especially when we start dropping here. When we start dropping here, why am I confident that it will keep going down? Because above us is a balanced price range. That's a lot of sauce right there. Note that one down. Okay, this is a consolidation, meaning it's a what? Balanced price range. Both sides of the market have been delivered efficiently, so we do not need to revisit it. So it should just drop because we get a consolidation into expansion. Price never reverses from a consolidation, meaning this is going to be an expansion, right? Now, SMT at the highs. Then take a look here. What's this? Okay, what is this pattern here? right? And I'll show you exactly what it is. You guys are familiar with it. Everyone seems to say it doesn't work, but clearly it does in the right context. When you have the right narrative, it works. This is the 2022 entry model, okay? Low broken, swing low broken with speed and distance, FVG left behind, entry on the FVG. But the 2022 model doesn't work, right? That's what everyone's told you. It doesn't work. It's because it doesn't work if it's a pattern. This isn't pattern trading. This is narrative-driven logic. Now, I got in on that fair value gap there, and I had a really tight stop loss because, again, why did I have a tight stop loss? A lot of gems today, because this is a balanced price range. So if we are to go bearish, it should not come back up here. That's why I can have a tight stop loss. And I aimed just below the lows because I needed a 1 to 5.5, I think, to pass the account. Now, why did I determine this was worth the risk on my top step accounts? Well, first of all, I was really close to passing. Me being close to passing and the opportunity arises for a high risk to reward. Now, you guys know, those of you who watch me often or who learn from me in my private group, you guys know I look for 1 to 3s most of the time. I'm always looking for a 1 to 3. Now, why did I hold for a 1 to 5.5 here? Because I'm so close to those top step accounts being passed that it would make logical sense for me to just hold for the lows and have a tighter stop loss. And when I saw the opportunity to have this tight stop loss come up, because if I was entering this trade anyway, I would have my stop loss above this high. So I saw the risk to reward increase and I thought this is worth the risk. So I put half risk on and then double my risk to reward, and obviously it worked out very clean. This is how you need to approach the markets. 9:30 a.m. And again, where's 9:30? The whole base of this video is what? We took out buy side liquidity here, then we SMT'd afterwards. Do you see how it's time-based logic? Everything I do is based around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. Okay, every single thing I do. If you guys want me to expand more on this video, I'm going to get you to comment 10 a.m. Comment 10 a.m. because there's a specific thing I look for at 10 a.m. as well. If you guys want to know what that is, comment 10 a.m. and I'll bring another video of this. Real reminder, if you are interested in my one-to-one coaching mentorship, where I have weekly one-to-one calls with you, I call out price like this inside my Discord. Please sign up with the top link in the description. Application process, you'll get your application reviewed by me, and then I'll see if you are the right fit for the program. I only want to work with people I know I can get over the line. That's why it's an application process. Anyway, thank you as always for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.